Okay, we're live everywhere. Welcome to the stream. Usually I'd be doing a get good at songwriting feature here, but this is a special Tuesday because Black Friday is just around the corner and I have a cup of coffee. You'll notice I'm not in my usual surroundings. I'd usually have this cool mandala background. But I am in fact traveling right now, and it is on the subject of traveling that I wanted to talk to you today, because I've been thinking a lot about what it is that we do that we feel we should be doing, but we recognize that this thing that we should be doing is what would serve us best. It would get us on the fast track towards everything it is that we want. And yet we don't do it. This question has interested me for a very long time, because on the surface it seems totally illogical, right? It's like, do you want to be a millionaire? Well, you're gonna have to work really hard for 10 years and then you'll probably make it. So why don't you just go work really hard for 10 years? And the answer to this question is that it may take various different forms and shapes, and we may have various different excuses, ways of expressing our reasons for not doing what is in highest alignment for us. But it all boils down to fear. It's all just different expressions of fear. And so I wanted to talk about fear, especially as related to what I'm doing right now, traveling. I'm back in Iceland. Like I said, I don't have the usual fancy background right now because somebody was kind enough to lend me a room to do this live in. I didn't bring my mandala with me. And something that I've always been super freaking scared of doing is traveling. And this might come as a big surprise to many here, because a lot of people, especially people who've met me during my adulthood, know me as an adventurer, as somebody who goes headfirst into solo adventures in foreign lands, learning different foreign languages, and just doing all kinds of crazy shit generally. And so when you meet me, you might assume, understandably but wrongly, that this has never been scary to me, going to foreign countries and putting myself in situations where I'm way outside my comfort zone. It definitely did scare me. There was a point in my life, in fact, when I was a kid, where I was like, the scariest thing that could ever happen to me was being separated from my parents as a kid. And not all kids are like that. I know all kids, like, obviously when I say that, you're like, yeah, okay, all kids don't want to be separated from their parents. What are you talking about? But I was like excessively scared of not having somebody to take care of me. I was a very quiet kid. I would spend long days alone in my room, playing and thinking a lot. Often I would just spend the entire day just in my head, lost in thought, having a bunch of fun on my own. I'm gonna hide the chat view here so I can tell the story. And every once in a while, like, I would really forget myself in my activities, just having fun on my own. And every once in a while, I would just call out like, "Mom," or "Dad," like, "Oh crap, I hope you haven't left me alone in the house." Like, there was all of a sudden, there was just this rising of anxiety within me, because I was scared of being left alone, of being left to fend for myself. And in adulthood, this extreme anxiety translated into being scared of speaking foreign languages and being scared of being alone in a place I'd never been before. And now you're thinking, wait, but that's all you do, right? Go to places you've never been before and learn foreign languages. Like, full disclosure, for those of you who don't know, I have in my adulthood lived in four countries and learned 3 languages, to speak a total of 5. And I'm telling you this story now to make it clear to you that I didn't do this because it was easy for me. I did this because it was hard, because this scared me tremendously, because I recognized something that blew my mind when I saw it when I was a teenager. And it blew my mind because it's so glaringly obvious, and yet nobody lives by it for some inexplicable reason. And it's the fact that the fastest way to grow is to figure out what it is that scares you the most. The more it scares you, the faster it allows you to grow. And then just go do it. Don't overthink it. Just go do it. And another thing that people mostly live in denial of as well, that makes this the case, another reason for why people don't live by this, for why they find this tremendously hard to believe, is that we don't really believe that we can change. And most people don't believe that they can change. Like, you hear people define themselves all the time. Like, mathematics, it was never my thing. Never been good at that. Therefore, I will choose never to get good at that by defining myself as somebody who is bad at mathematics. You're not bad at mathematics. You just refuse to learn it. That's all there is to it. And same thing for what you're afraid of doing. And in fact, those two things hugely overlap. You don't learn mathematics because a part of you is scared of mathematics. And you're scared of mathematics because you've never taken the time to learn mathematics. Either way, however you look at it, it's got fear at the root. The fear is the root cause of all human stagnation. Just take that in for a second. Fear is the root of all human stagnation. So, the reason I'm telling you this is that I'm about to give you the chance of doing something that probably scares you. Now, you might know this already, and if you're watching this live, I would presume you do. I specialize in helping singer-songwriters getting better at implementing structure in their approach to their craft, in their approach to songwriting. And especially when it comes to music theory. How do you use music theory to write better songs? Because a lot of songwriters define themselves as being bad at music theory. And it holds them back tremendously. And me, as a songwriter who loves music theory, who dealt with this limiting belief very early on, or never really had it in the first place, I see it as my mission to help songwriters reconcile their relationship with music theory. And Black Friday is just around the corner. I have a few offers for working with me right now. And investing in an offer to grow is scary, and it's scary because it works. It's gonna allow you to commit to getting better at something that you've been waiting for a very long time to get better at. So I just kind of wanted to make you aware of that fact on this live, and I didn't want to keep it very long, but I thank you for joining me today, and stay tuned. The Black Friday offers went live to my email list yesterday, and I'll be making them public on my social media and everywhere else, on my Instagram stories today. So if you want in, this is the time. I've prepared some incredible offers for you guys, and I am very excited to see how much energy we can move here and how much better we can make our songwriting craft together. So thanks again for joining me today, and stay tuned. I'll be posting about this in a couple hours. Mwah. See you on the next one.